that? 2020, the first question is question 1, right? No, love the section B. Section B, right? Thank you. So we're going to section B, no. Section B. I'm seeing some questions here. Are you sure it's only from section B? I saw some things here now. I'm just looking at. Okay, I'm going to check now. I think we have this question 9 there. There's one question 9 there. Let's see. I think I have question 9. There's question 9 here. Oh, I'm going to solve that. So there's one question 9 here on this past paper. It's oligopoly. I don't know why we didn't solve it. It's here, question 9. Let's see that. But I think I solved it the other day. I'm sure this is 2020. Yeah, it's 2020. Page 5. Yeah, this one. So we have this question for question 9. I'm going to solve it through the app. This question 9, we have it. I'm going to solve that now. So for question 9, the question says, diagram below represents the long-run equilibrium of a firm in oligopoly. Write in full the label, not abbreviations, for each of the lines numbered 1, 2, 3. Use the answer box provided. So we have the marginal cost, the MC, the AR, the MR, and the MC, the AR. So we have number 1 is marginal cost. Number 2 is average revenue. And number 3 is marginal revenue. Okay, that's all we need to have to do there. So I think that's sorted now. That's an oversight for me. So we have question 9. We're told to label the diagram. So in the diagram, we have, I'm just going to show you guys this one and I'm just going to show you guys this question here. We have question 9, which is the only question in section A. We'll go to section B, then we'll go to 2021 and the rest. So here they said the diagram shows below represent a long-run equilibrium of a firm in oligopoly. We should write in full the label, not abbreviation. So we're going to write it in full. So this is MC. This is AR. This is MR. So we're going to have marginal cost, marginal cost, average revenue, and marginal revenue. So that's the answer for that. The rest I'm not going to, I'm showing you this so as you know that I'm solving all the questions. You find it on my YouTube channel. Thank you. So the rest is going to be conversation. I think that is clear, right? Okay, now we go on. So we have section B now, right? I think. Yeah, section B now. That's the only one we didn't solve in question, section A. Now for section B, the first question says, for section B, they said, the table below illustrates the law of diminishing marginal utility, number of units consumed, total utility, and marginal utility. Explain the law of diminishing marginal utility. The law of diminishing marginal utility states that as more units of product is consumed, the satisfaction received reduces. As we consume more units of product, the satisfaction we derive starts diminishing. And that's one of the assumptions of consumers. As soon as we consume more, just like I'm thirsty, I need to take a bottle of water. So after taking the first, the second, taking the third, I won't feel the same satisfaction. So that means there's diminishing marginal utility. And for utility, it's the amount of satisfaction that can be derived from the consumption of any commodity. I think that is clear. So that's about the law of diminishing marginal utility. Now, they said we should use a table to calculate marginal utility at A, B, C, and D. So to calculate marginal utility, it is TU2 minus TU1. So here we're going to have a marginal utility. Are you here with me, please? If you have any question, please ask. So we have TU2 minus TU1. We have 25 minus 10. So that's 15. 35 minus 25, 12, right? Then 47 minus 37, 10. 54 minus 47, 7. So that's marginal utility. That's Roman figure 2. Then we have Roman figure 3. State at what point diminishing marginal utility sets in and explain your answer. The law of diminishing marginal utility sets in at the third consumption, right? At third. And why? Because I wrote why? Why? The assumption, okay, the diminishing marginal utility sets in at 4. Taking the fourth one. Between 3 to 4, yeah, between 3 to 4. So now question 4, they said state and explain two assumptions underlying this law. That consumers have to behave rational. That's one. That consumers, for this, consumers have to behave rational. Consumers, so, who's coming? Okay, shall we? Shall we? Okay. That consumers have to behave rational. Consumers have to behave rational. Behave rational. That's the first assumption. And the second assumption is that the additional unit consumed will bring no additional satisfaction. So when you take the first bottle of water, the second bottle, taking the third, you won't have the same satisfaction. And that is why you have to stop. So the additional unit consumed will bring no additional satisfaction. The additional unit consumed won't bring additional satisfaction, So that's for question 1A for example, section B. 1A, Roman figure 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now go to question 1B for section B. So I'm going to go further. So this is about question 1A. I'm going to erase it. Then we can write on. It's recorded. So we have question B. Here they said the Public Health Alcohol Act of 2018 prohibits the advertising of alcohol in parks, on trains, and on buses, or within 200 meters of a school or playground. The first question says, explain with the aid of a labeled diagram the likely impact of the above measures on the market equilibrium of alcohol in Ireland. With a ban on advertisement, it means a lot of people would not have information about alcohol in Ireland, and that would reduce the quantity demanded of alcohol in Ireland. So that will shift the demand curve leftward from D to D1, and the equilibrium price will reduce from PE to P1 because the quantity demanded would contract from QE to Q1. So we're going to draw a graph for that. So the situation here needs a graph, and I'm going to draw the graph right now beside here. So we have, let me just show them the graph for this. Though it's going to be on my YouTube channel anyway. So we're going to have a graphical representation for this situation for question B, Roman figure 1. So it's going to have a graphical representation. This is going to be the graph, but you have to draw better than this in case this comes out in the exams. So we have demand and supply. We have, it has to be on the line, though we can. It has to be on the line, okay? So we have demand, then we have supply. This is PE, then we have QE. Now, because there's a ban on alcohol, the demand curve will shift leftward from D to D1. Then we're going to have a new equilibrium price at P1 and the new equilibrium quantity at Q1. So there's going to be a leftward shift in the demand curve. But you have to draw better than how I'm drawing. So that is question B, Roman figure 1. Now, question B, Roman figure 2. They said, discuss 3 other possible measures which could be introduced to help reduce the consumption of alcohol in Ireland. So all these are answered in the past paper. Then it's going to be posted on my YouTube channel. So we're going to flip again. Then we'll continue. What happened here? Wait. Okay. We'll move on. Sorry, I won't be taking this thing away again because it's difficult for me to just put together. Okay, so that's about question. I think this one is clear, right? Okay. So then they said we should explain. With the lack of advertisement, information about alcohol in Ireland would reduce, and that will shift the demand curve leftward from D to D1, as the quantity demanded would reduce from QE to Q1, and there will be a fall in the price of the product from PE to P1. There is a bit, okay, I think it's better now, to P1. So that's about that. Now we have question, the next question. So the next question says, discuss 3 other possible measures which could be introduced to help reduce the consumption of alcohol. To reduce consumption of alcohol, government can set minimum price. If government set minimum price, this increases the price above equilibrium, and that might reduce the quantity demanded of alcohol. So here, government can set minimum price, minimum price. Minimum price will be above equilibrium price, and that makes alcohol expensive. People might not want to buy. 2, government can increase awareness about it. Government can increase awareness. Government should increase awareness about the negative impacts of alcohol on health. So these are the 2 ways in which government can reduce the consumption of alcohol in Ireland. I think that is clear. So we'll move on, right? So question 1B, Roman figure. No, question 1C now. Go to question 1C. Question 1C. For question 1C. Let's say landlord Irish Rail has warned that overcrowding on trains may worsen as additional train carriage will not arrive until late 2021 at the earliest. State and explain one reason why the demand for train service in Ireland has increased recently. So the demand for train service may increase due to the following. Number 1, they said 1, the price of tickets are less relative to other forms of transportation. So if the demand for train service is increasing, it might have meant that other services, other form of transportation, their prices are expensive compared to train. So that's why I said the demand for train service may increase because the price of tickets are less in relative to other forms of transportation like bus transportation or airline or air transportation or water transportation. So because air transportation, water transportation, road transportation are substitutes to rail transportation. So if all the substitutes are expensive in relative to trains or rail transportation, that means the price of train will be cheaper. And because the price of train is cheaper, then the demand for train service would increase. I think that is clear. So go to question 2. For question 2, they said, Board Bayer has reported that the number of microbreweries in Ireland has increased to 75 in 2018, a 5-fold increase since 2012. Each brewery produces a range of products such as lagers, stouts, and beers. This market is thus an imperfectly competitive market. Explain one reason why the above industry is imperfectly competitive. There are different reasons why this market is imperfectly competitive. Number 1, the market is because there are many small firms in the market and none of them can influence the market price. There are many small firms in that market because they said they produce different products. So that means none of them can influence the market price. That is one reason why we can consider this type of market an imperfect competition. I think it's clear. Now go to second question. They said, state and explain 3 other key characteristics of this market structure. So for an imperfect competition, What are other characteristics of an imperfect competition aside this, aside many small firms in the market? Number one, lack of barriers to entry and exit. So many firms can enter the market according to the extract. The number of firms increased to 75 in 2018. So there's no barriers to entry or exit. This is one of the characteristics. No barriers to entry, no barriers to entry, no barriers to entry or exit in an imperfect competition. Number two, product differentiation. Product differentiation. Product differentiation. Each firm produces different products. So they are not closely substitutes, but they are in the same market, just like the market of the restaurants. They have different food type. There's Chinese restaurants, there's Turkish restaurants, there's Indian restaurants, there's Nigerian restaurants, but all they sell is food, but different kind of food. So that makes it an imperfect competition. So that is product differentiation. I think that is clear. And the third one is that they are profit maximizers. They want to maximize profit, and where it's MC equals to MR. So they are profit maximizer. Profit maximizer. So these are the three characteristics. Maximizers. So these are the three characteristics of imperfect competition. I think that is clear. So we have the next question, which is B2. For B2, here we have, for B2, here they said, explain with the aid of a labeled diagram the equilibrium position of a firm in short run imperfect competition. In an imperfect competition, in the short run, firms make supernormal profits. So I'm going to draw a graph. So this is a supernormal profit graph in the short run. This is a supernormal profit graph in the short run. I'm going to draw it, then you can find it on my YouTube channel. So firms will make supernormal profits. So we draw. So I'm going to draw it here. Right. So we have P1, C1. Because the firm makes supernormal profit, so we're going to have, let's use other colors. These are marginal cost. Then we have I'll draw that again. Marginal revenue. Then we have average revenue. I'll just show you to the screen. So we have here, we have marginal revenue, we have average revenue, we have marginal cost, then we have AC, these are our AC. So we have MC, AC, AR, MR. So this is the supernormal profit. This is the supernormal profit position. So this is supernormal profit position. This is supernormal profit position for this firm. So that's the question for question B, figure 1. They said, explain with the aid of a label diagram the equilibrium position of a firm in the short run imperfect competition. A firm in the short run will make supernormal profit, and the equilibrium point position will be at this point. This is equilibrium position where MC equals to MR, and this is supernormal profit position. Then this is our average revenue, this is the marginal revenue, and this is the average cost. So when you look at it, the average revenue is greater than the average cost, and that is supernormal profit. So, but the firm is not producing at the minimum of its AC. The minimum of the AC is at this point, the minimum of the AC. So there is waste of resources. So this is how to draw this is how to draw a graph representing a firm in an imperfect competition in the short run. So I'm switching. So you're going to find it on my YouTube channel. So we move on. So go to question B2. Okay, so with the aid of label diagram, the impact which the entry of new firms would have on the equilibrium of the firm. So with new firms entering the market, supernormal profit, this is how it works. Supernormal profit will attract new firms. And as soon as new firms come into the market, the demand curve facing each firm in an imperfect competition will shift leftward. And that would reduce the supernormal profit to become a normal profit. So as soon as that occurs, first we have to draw a demand curve representing such situation. Are you with me, please? So we're going to draw a demand curve representing, as soon as there's supernormal profit, more firms will come into the market. And as soon as more firms come into the market, the situation will change about the graph. So this is going to be a new graph. So this is supernormal profit. I'm going to flip the camera. Flip. So this is supernormal profit. The supernormal profit here would attract new firms to come into the market. And as soon as new firms come into the market, there's going to be a leftward shift in the demand curve for each firm. So we're going to have the demand curve facing a firm in an imperfect competition. So this is equilibrium PE, QE, demand, and supply. So there's going to be a leftward shift in the demand curve from D to D1. So we're going to have P1 and Q1. So supernormal profit at this point, the supernormal profit here brings about new firms coming into the market. And as soon as new firms come into the market, the demand curve facing each firm in an imperfect competition will shift leftward from D to D1. And that will bring about supernormal profit becoming normal profit. So as soon as the supernormal profit is becoming normal profit, based on this situation, we're going to have a new graph representing the situation that brings about normal profit. So this is going to be the new graph for normal profit. We're going to have a new graph here for normal profit. So for normal profit, we're going to have this new graph for normal profit. So we're going to have C1, P1, Q1 at this point. Then at that point, our marginal revenue still is here. Then the average revenue is here. Then our average cost will be, the average cost, I have to draw it again. The average cost curve. No, I have to draw it. It has to be. So this is our AC. No, this one is not nice. Okay, this is our AC. This is AC. So AC at AC will be the same as AR. Then this is, because AC and AR are the same, this is normal profit. So supernormal profit has attracted more firms to come into the market. As soon as more firms come into the market, the demand curve facing each firm will shift leftward from D to D1. And this will bring about supernormal profit to reduce, becoming normal profit. And this is normal profit because AR and AC are at the same point. Before now, AC is above AR. AR is above AC. But now AC and AR are at the same point. That is normal profit. So cost and price are the same. And P equals to AR. So this is the situation for a normal profit. Supernormal profit will bring about this, and this will bring about this. So that's how to draw a graph representing supernormal profit, representing more firms coming into the market, bringing about a normal profit. So I'm going to flip again so you can see me. So it's going to be on my YouTube channel that you can watch better on my YouTube channel. I think this one is clear, right? Okay, we move on. So we have now, the next question says, this one. Yeah, the next question says, so the next question says, right here, the next question says, now we're done with question 1B. Now go to question C. Firms in some industries tend to engage in non-price competition. So we have the graph already here, and it's on my YouTube channel. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel anyway. So here they said, firms, for questions, they said, firms in some industries tend to engage in non-price competition. Explain the underlying term. That means explain what is non-price competition. Non-price competition implies to a situation whereby firms compete without using price. So it is non-price competition because firms in this market compete without using what? Without using price to compete. That is non-price competition. That's 1C. Now we have, I'll find 2 examples of effective non-price competitive measures used by firms. Why do you consider these to be effective for the firms? Example of non-price competition could be advertisements. So because you cannot compete with price in an imperfect competition, you can use advertisement. And what is advertisement? Advertisement allows individuals, consumers, to be aware about a product. So advertisement increases awareness of a product to consumers. So here, firms can create awareness by letting customers understand the reason they have to buy their product instead of rivals. So I might advertise my product, and I will give you the reasons why you should buy my product instead of buying those of my competitors. That is effective advertisement, and it is expected to increase the demand for your product. 2, quality. You can also compete with other firms in the market with quality. Quality means meeting customers' expectations. So if the quality of your product or service is greater or better than those of your competitors, because your competitors might be losing their customers to you. Do you understand? So now the third question says, is non-price competition beneficial to consumers? Outline 2 reasons for your answer. Yes. Non-price competitions are attractive, are beneficial to consumers because, 1, like advertisements. Advertisements allow consumers to have access to information needed, which makes to make rational decisions. As consumers, sometimes we make irrational decisions. And why do we make irrational decisions? We make irrational decisions sometimes because we lack information. So do you get the point here? Do you get it or not? 2, quality. Quality improves customers' experience. So because you are selling quality products, customers would use your product and they will be happy using your product. That improves their experience about your product. So this is how non-pricing competition like quality and advertisements are beneficial to consumers. I think that point is clear. We move on to question 4. Question 4. Now for question 4, they said, the cost of doing business in Ireland can be described as high cost, slowly increasing. The slow growth in cost is welcome from a cost competitive perspective. In the short run, firms may stay in the industry even if they are making a loss. Explain this statement. In the short run, firms would stay in a market if they are making a loss, in as much as they are able to cover up for their variable costs. So a firm would consider staying in the market if it's able to cover off its average variable cost in the short run. The only time a firm will exit the market in the short run, in the long run, is if they are unable to make up or cover their average cost. So in the short run, a firm should consider shutting down in the short run if it's unable to meet up with its average variable cost. I think that is clear. Is it clear, please? The next question for A Roman figure 2. State and explain 3 reasons why it is important for a business to control its cost. Why is it important for a business to control its cost? Number 1, it allows the business to generate profit as there is inverse relationship between profit and cost. If your cost is reducing, your profit is increasing. So there's inverse relationship between profit and cost. So that's number 1. Number 2, it could lead to lower prices. If you're able to manage your cost, it means you can pass on low cost as low prices to consumers, and that might attract more customers to buy from you. The third one, it could lead to efficiency. Because when you are reducing your cost, it means you stop wasting resources. And because you stop wasting resources, you become efficient. Do you get the point here? So those are the 3 reasons why it is important to reduce your cost or manage your cost. We go to question 4B Roman figure 1. Now they said we should calculate the marginal cost and average total cost at each unit. So marginal cost is TC minus TC. So I'm going to write that here. We need to find MC and AC at each level of output. Okay. So this is the table. So this is the table. We need to find the MC and AC. So we'll find the MC first at each level of output. MC is TC2 minus TC1. So 20 minus 10 is 10. So at output 1, it is 10. 20 minus 10 is 10. 27 minus 10 is 7. This MC, 36 minus 7 is what? 36 minus 7, 9. 52 minus 36, 16. And 80 minus 52, 28. So this is our MC. Now we need to find AC. MC is TC2 minus TC1. Then AC is TC divided by Q. So for each one, TC divided by Q, this will be 0. 20 divided by 1, 20. 27 divided by 2, that's 13.5. 36 divided by 3, that's 12. 52 divided by 4, that's 13. 80 divided by 5, that's 16. So this is how to calculate for AC and MC. I'm flipping the camera again. So that's about MC and AC. We move on to the next question. We're still on 2020. So question C. Okay, they said draw one graph showing marginal cost and average total cost and explain the relationship between both curves. The relationship, I'm going to explain it now. So the marginal cost and the average cost curve, we're supposed to draw that. So the question says we should draw one graph showing marginal cost and average total cost and explain the relationship. So to draw that, this is our cost. So this is AC and this is MC. This is MC. That's the graph we're supposed to draw. Now the relationship is this. If the MC is greater than AC, like this point, MC is greater than AC, it means the average cost is increasing. If MC is equals to AC, it simply means optimum level. And if MC is lower than AC, it means AC is also reducing. And that is economies of scale. So that's how to draw the graph. So I move on again. So we go to question 1B. Now we have question 1C. Right here. Question 1C. So for question 1C, the first question says, okay, now I'm going to read and explain. Fayat, Chrysler, and Peugeot are engaged in merger talks to form one company. While the proposed merger between Siemens and Alstom train manufacturer has been blocked by the EU's competition enforcer, define internal economies of scale. Internal economies of scale is a cost advantage that firms enjoy as a result of expansion within the industry. Internal economies of scale. It means as the firm are expanding with their own resources, the average cost of production starts reducing. Internal economies of scale. The second question says, outline 3 internal economies of scale which Fiat, Chrysler, and Peugeot can use. We have bulk purchasing. The merger allows the two firms to order for large raw materials which may result into discounts. 2, managerial economies of scale. Because both companies are merging, it simply means they can retain their skilled managers, and that would allow them to make informed decisions which will lead to efficiency. 2, because they are so big, they can now attract better skilled managers from even their competitors, and that would give them a competitive advantage, which is economies of scale. And the third one is financial economies of scale. For financial economies of scale, this could occur because based on the fact that they're becoming too big, they can now get a loan from banks at a reduced interest rate, and that is That reduces the cost of borrowing, and that is also internal economies of scale. So those are the three internal economies of scale. The first one is bulk purchasing, the second one is financial economies of scale, and the third one is managerial economies of scale. We move on to question 5. Are you there? For question 5, they said an American survey has ranked Ireland as the 8th most entrepreneurial society in the world. Define the factor of production enterprise. And what is factors of production? Factors of production are the resources that helps in the production of goods and services. We have land, labor, capital, and enterprise. Now, the question says we should define the factor enterprise. Enterprise is the skills, the knowledge, the idea of entrepreneur that is used in organizing all factors of production. That is enterprise. And the reward for enterprise is profit. I think that is clear. Now, question 2, 5 Roman figure 2. Discuss 4 economic reasons why entrepreneurship is important to the Irish economy. So why is entrepreneurship important? Number 1, it increases employment opportunity. Because when more firms come into the market, they have to employ workers to work in that company. Yes or no? That increases employment opportunity for Irish people. 2, it brings about improved standard of living. Now, people have jobs. They have income. And because they have income, they can now buy what they cannot buy before now. And that improves their lifestyle, their living standards. The third one, it may increase government revenue through indirect tax. Now that people have jobs, they have to pay income tax. Firms will be making profit as a result of that. They have to pay corporation tax to government. So government revenue would also increase through direct taxes like income tax and corporation tax. Is that clear? Now go to question 5B. Are you there? So I'm going to show you the question 5B. It's on the screen. Question 5B. You're going to have the opportunity to watch all of them on the YouTube. For question 5B, they said we have the unit of labor, we have the total output, we have the marginal product, we have price of output, we have marginal revenue, and the marginal cost for each. We're told to fill the table. So to find marginal product, we're going to start with this. Marginal product is TU2 minus TU1. TU2 minus TU1. So 25 minus 10, this is 15. 45 minus 20, 45 minus 25, that's 20. 60 minus 45, that's 15. 70 minus 60, that's 10. 77 minus 70, that's 7. 82 minus 77, that's 5. That's marginal product. Now we need to find marginal revenue. To find marginal revenue, it is marginal product minus price. This multiplied by this. This multiplied by this gives us that. So we have 300 euros. We have 400 euros. We have 300 euros. We have 200 euros. We have 140 euros. We have 100 euros. So that's how to calculate. That's how to calculate marginal revenue. Marginal revenue is price of output multiplied by marginal product. And to get marginal product, it is total output 2 minus output 1. I think that is clear. I flip the camera again so you can see me. So we move on. Not allowed. Okay. So the next one. It's almost done, you know. So the next question says, we've calculated for 5B, and so here we said, the next question says, calculate, okay, yeah, we've done that. They said, state at what point the law of diminishing marginal returns applies. Labor, the law of marginal returns applies to labor in the above situation. The law of marginal utility applies to labor here. Let's check together. So at 1 labor, we have marginal product at 10. As labor increases to 2, it increases to 15. Labor increases to 3, it increases to 20. As soon as labor increases to 4, the marginal utility for product, marginal product of labor reduces to 15. So it reduces. So the law of diminishing marginal utility sets in when 4 workers are employed. It reduces when 4 workers are employed. So that's the point. That's the answer for that. And for the last one, they said, How many workers should be employed in the above firm? So the number of workers to be employed through here that will give us a derived output is 3. So it should be 3 workers should be 3 workers should be employed. 3 workers should be employed because with 3 workers, our marginal utility, marginal product increases to 20. When it is 4, when it becomes 4, it reduces to 15. So the number of workers to be employed here should be at 3. So that's for this question. So we'll move on. So we'll move on. Here. So go to question C. Here they said an Irish firm which sells its product in both the EU and the US markets provide you with the following information. We have price elasticity of demand, income elasticity of demand is 0.8 and 0.72. Explain whether you consider this good to be normal good or inferior good. So here we have normal good and inferior. This is This is PED and this is YED. So for YED, we talk about normal or inferior good. And based on what we have here, the YED is positive and positive. And a YED that is positive is a normal good. So it is normal good for question C, Roman figure 1. It's normal good. Now they said, suggest one reason for the difference in the price elasticity of demand for this product in each market. In EU, the demand for the product is inelastic, but in the US, the demand for the product is elastic, which simply means in EU, a rise in price in the EU would not change the quantity demanded in EU, but a rise in price in the US would reduce the quantity demanded in the US. So what could bring about different elasticity in both markets? It simply means in EU, there are no substitute for the product in EU, while there are substitute for the product in the US. And that is why the demand for the product is elastic in the US and it is inelastic in the EU. That means no substitutes in EU, but they are substitute in the US. Now, they said, question 3, they said, if the firm wishes to maximize total sales revenue, advise the firm in which market a higher price should be charged. To maximize total sales revenue here, the firm must sell in EU because in EU it is inelastic. And for inelastic, it simply means irrespective of the price, consumers will buy. So, and for the firm to maximize its revenue, it has to sell in the market EU. Because in EU, the demand for the product is inelastic. So which simply means a rise in price would not significantly change the quantity demanded. So that's about that. Okay, I think that's all. So that ends past paper of 2020 for the exams. That's for paper, that's past paper of 2020. It ended in question 5. So we'll go to past paper of 2021 in the next live session. Thank you. So I'm ending the live now. Just hold on, let me just